we're doing Q&A because like I literally can't fathom making a recipe video at this moment in time. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna do more of these general Q&As more often just to kind of reduce the wonderings of everyone. So hopefully you can get some answers. I asked these on my Instagram. If you'd like to follow me on there, it's a wild ride. I selected a few of these. A lot of these have to do with veganism and personal life. So I thought it would be a good little mix, keep it juicy, but also keep it useful to you. So let's go. So my first question has to do with PCOS. It says, hi, I would love to learn more about how going vegan helped manage your PCOS. Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea how veganism helped my PCOS and my interstitial cystitis. Both went into remission around the time that I started going vegan. What I've been told basically is that the addition of fiber that comes with a vegan diet, that comes very easily with the vegan diet, helps in some way that I'm unsure of pull out excess hormones. I don't even know if that's true, but that is what I've been told. In general, also, like if you were my younger sister and I was telling you this, I would say be wary. I feel like the internet is a place where a lot of influencers tend to capitalize on people's fear and uncertainty with chronic illnesses and offer them like a cure-all in a diet. And I think it's kind of predatory and unethical. So I tend to stay away from advising you concrete evidence. I can tell you like it helped me. I don't know how. But I never want you to feel taken advantage of, and I don't want to exploit you. I just want to help you get whatever information you need from me. Oh. Advice for me to kick my own butt into finally transitioning to a fully vegan lifestyle. Don't. This is kind of similar to another question I got asked, which is any tips on being nice to yourself on the progress, not perfection path to veganism. Going vegan and being the most ultimate perfect vegan while I'm totally vegan, like that isn't the goal. The goal is to liberate all sentient beings. So like mostly learn about the politics involved, learning how subsidies for our farms work, learning where your taxes go, learning who are the lobbyists who are going to be pushing for animal liberation, animal rights, and who you want to advocate for, and like voting and being involved politically. Beating yourself up into trying to like get to that perfect vegan place, like don't. I'm gonna give you permission. If you need it from me, which you don't, you can give yourself that permission, like don't do it. It doesn't matter in the end. And me being perfect or good at being vegan doesn't really, in the end, make me more informed or more capable or more effective in saving animals. That's it. Is your partner vegan? And do you have any advice on relationships with a non-vegan? My partner, Jessie, and I, we've been dating 8 or 9 years. And I went vegan like 6 or 7 years ago. So we actually moved in together when I was vegan and Jessie was not. While there was a lot of contention, I do love Jessie for who he is and not what he is, which I think is a very big thing in a lot of codependent relationships, is that a lot of people will base their self-worth or their self-image or who they are based off of like what their partner brings to the table, whereas your identity exists outside your partner. So them not being vegan and you being vegan, while it may be hard and you'll have to work out like the major things as you go along and as it comes up, it doesn't have any implications on the other. And I've seen so many vegans who are like violently against that idea, and it's just, to me, extremely psychologically unhealthy to be so wrapped up in what they're doing and eating and pursuing. I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I never will. And while there was a lot of confrontation because we were working through how my lifestyle would impact our future together, and because Jessie respects and loves me and doesn't want me to be uncomfortable, he was like, yeah, for sure, like we can handle this. And then logistically, we always do separate groceries. We are not married, so we are financially independent of each other. So we had separate groceries, and then we had separate, I think we split the fridge down the middle, and one half was Jessie, one half was mine. That way just nothing was like touching each other. And if he was cooking meat, I was just like, hey, let me know ahead of time. I usually would leave the room, and I asked him to like open the windows. And then I just became such a chef in the kitchen. He started eating all vegan meals. The only reason I'm not saying he's vegan is because like he's not here to speak, and I respect him enough to not blow up his spot and be like, he's vegan. I'm not representative of him on the internet. Oh my gosh, okay. This was one of the most asked questions. It's not relating to veganism, but so many people ask this. Do you want marriage and children? This is definitely like a United States thing. Like if you're from the States and you think it's weird that people wait quite a while to get married, like I can assure you it's very much a cultural thing. I was not raised believing that we should get married young just because we found our person. My parents were always like, these are the things you need to do before you get married. Because my parents were really into making sure that my brother and I wouldn't get into situations where marriage would lead to a kind of power abuse, they very much instilled in my brother and I that these are a couple things you should do before getting married in order to protect yourself. And when I met Jesse, he also believed the same exact things. And I think it's one of the reasons like why when we found each other at the same age, we were like, whoa. But for me, it has provided like a big sense of security and happiness because I do know that when we do decide to get married, because yes, we do want to get married eventually, that it will be a mutual joining. A lot of people ask when. Basically, like we have a little bucket list, the two of us, and we have little things we want to check off this bucket list before we get married. But I can tell you we have one more big thing we want to check off, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Stay tuned. Children? I don't know. Don't ask me. Well, I did say ask me anything, so I don't think it's bad that you asked this. Children was a big question. As far as children are concerned, I am enjoying my 20s child-free by choice. Next is, how did you learn to do makeup and how do you do one color eyeshadow looks? Okay, funny story. So I was really into makeup growing up. There wasn't really a lot of makeup for people who had darker skin tone or for people who had different undertones in their skin. And so I was very discouraged because me not being reflected in the makeup industry really made me feel ugly and unwanted. But I had this really big love-hate relationship with makeup, which led me to when I was in college and I was studying film and dramatic arts. I took a stage and special effects makeup course and we learned all kinds of incredible stage makeup and special effects stuff, as well as how to change face shapes and how to portray certain characteristics and certain archetypes of a character within and through makeup. It was not like glam, it was not like James Charles, it was not like beauty vlogger makeup. So while I had some formal training, it wasn't at all what I'm doing now. Basically, it was a little bit of formal training, but then mostly experimentation at odds of being bad at it. I'm not really here to teach you to be the best at makeup because I don't know much. Like I text my friend Hannah and I follow all the beauty bloggers and learn from them. I'm very much a beginner and I just do it because I love it. And the confidence that I have in my makeup skills isn't my skills, it's in the joy that I get from doing it. Okay, how do I do one color eyeshadow looks? It's basically just knowing your anatomy. Look in the mirror, look at what you got going for it. I can't see my monitor anymore. I have quite a bit of lid showing and I have quite a bit of space between my eye and my eyebrow. So for me, showing a very vibrant one color eyeshadow look is quite easy. Know your eye shape, get intimate, look in the mirror, see what you got working with, and then learn the name for it and follow people who have that same eye shape. Like I follow a lot of South Asian beauty bloggers while I'm only half. I do have very almond upturned eyes. My makeup application would be quite different if I was looking at a blogger with very round doe eyes. Learning where to put the one color eyeshadow is very important, and then having a really good base. Getting a good white eyeshadow or a really good eyeshadow primer that is lighter can just show off your freaking makeup shades so well. I usually use a shade of Tarte Shape Tape because it's just so thick and gooey to layer my eyeshadow on, but if I'm doing like a lighter color, I will usually use that plus a white eyeshadow base. I really like the one from the Juicy Boost palette from Colored Rain. Wonderful, but yeah, white eyeshadow, a good primer, knowing your eye shape. The end. Advice on how to make vegan friends. We have a whole episode on the Vegan View. I will link it down below. I think it's really good. Biggest piece of advice besides the tangible steps we give you in that video is to not settle for weird vegans because they're the only vegans you know. Keep looking and don't sacrifice who you are to fit in with those vegans, okay? I think it's really important to find at least a community to ask questions, to be in a non-judgmental dialogue with, and to meet people you can have really yummy vegan food with. So do pursue finding some good vegan friends. What would be your advice to your younger self? I have no advice for my early 20s self. She did good. Like, she had fun. I'm thinking like my teens. Don't date that boy. I could say so much more, but I won't. Those girls are mean. You're not ugly. You're just growing up in a predominantly white town. Your life is about to get so fun. Just wait. That's just the knowledge I wish I had been equipped with, but I don't think I would have listened to myself even if I could go back and tell myself that. If you have more questions, ask me anything. You can leave them down below, or you can ask on my Instagram. If you want it to remain anonymous, I like doing these because I feel like I get to know you more, and then when we talk in my DMs, I feel like I'm talking to real people, and for me, I always just feel like it's a camera. So I like how humanizing Q&As are. Always been a huge fan, and I'll see you soon in a new video.